Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday Celebration of Spirit here at the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, where we honor each and every one of you, wherever you are on your spiritual path. Please stand for the opening song, be sung by Carl Anthony. He'll lead us in it.
Real quick, want to see the words real quick first there, William, because they won't be able to see them while he's singing. So if you get a chance to see the words, you'll see how we're going to begin, and Carl will lead us through. So now take it away, Carl.
Here we are together, and I'm so delighted that your music angel Karen Drucker gave me a call to be with you. So let's do, you like to sing? Say, oh yeah. All right. So what goes like this? It goes, rise up, emerge from the ashes, stand up, ignite the flame and wake up. You know your way, the time has come. Today's the day to rise up. You ready to rise up? Let's do it. Rise up, emerge from the ashes, stand up, ignite the flame and wake up. You know your way, the time has come. Today's the day to rise up. All right, today's the day. Today's the day to rise up. Sing that again. Today's the day to rise up. Good. Today's the day to rise up. No need to fear, so stand up. Walk through that door now. Wake up. Believe who you are. You know who you are. Love who you are. Rise up. Emerge from the ashes. Stand up. Ignite the flame and wake up. You know your way. The time has come. Today's the day to rise up. 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 All right, everybody, now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat after me. Are you ready? Say, oh yeah. Here we go. We can now rise up. Rise up, emerge from the ashes, stand up, ignite the flame and wake up. You know your way, the time has come. Today's the day, the time has come. Today's the day to rise up. Get with me. Today's the day to rise up. Today's the day to rise up. Beautiful. Today's the day to rise up. Are you ready to have a good Sunday? All right, everybody repeat after me. Here we go. We can now rise up. Beautiful.
Okay. Greet your neighbors, but first, turn off all your cell phones or electronic gadgets that may interrupt the sacred space that we will be creating here today. And just on the technical end, Carl, if you could turn your guitar down a bit because it's clipping. Thank you. And greet your neighbors. Well, thank you. And please take your seats. And the meditation song will be up next, followed by a spiritual mind treatment by our practitioner of the day, Lori Greer.
That the guitar was a little loud on that last one. Hopefully that'll be all fixed for you. Take another deep breath. Open my eyes, let in the light again. Open my eyes, let in the light again. Open my eyes, fill them with joy again. Open my eyes, open my eyes, heal my heart, let me begin again. Heal my heart, let me begin again. Open my eyes, open my eyes again. Open my eyes, open my eyes.
One life, one consciousness, one love. One life, one consciousness, one love.
Take a deep breath. Breathe in the strength again. Take a deep breath. Breathe in the strength again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes. Heal my heart. Let me begin again. Heal my heart. Let me begin again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes.
This one life, everything in this one life, every person, every place, everything, every being, sentient and non-sentient, everything that I see, touch, feel, and know is an expression of this one life. It is this one life that is unfolding into a greater and fuller expression of itself every day in every possible way. And I am a part of that one life. And as I speak my word in the first person, this is the truth for each one. And so I remember that I'm a part of this consciousness that is forever unfolding and becoming more and more greater and better and more joyful. This one consciousness wants to reveal what I cannot even imagine is available to me. This consciousness is alive everywhere. It is taking place in all of the activity of our conversations and relationships. This life and the way that it lives through me is how I show up. It is the journey that I've been on and that I continue to live from, this one love, this consciousness. And so everything I do in every part of my day is this one life expressing. And so knowing that is what each one is, that we are all a part of this, I claim and know for us that we are love expressing. This love that wants to become more fully known through all of its human beings, no matter what the opinions or beliefs are. Every animal, every insect, every four-legged, all of the stars and the planets and the moons, every single thing is a part of this one life that is becoming, always living, becoming more and more expressed. And so I open to the spaciousness, the freedom, and the abundance that this one life gives, that God wants to give more of itself to me in every moment. And so knowing this is true for each one, I just call this time together good. Know that it's blessed. Know that each one was called here by divine appointment in community, for each one to gather up that essence, to remember that that's who we are and it's what we're here to do, to show up and to be God expressed. And so this community is blessed, this day is blessed, and I'm grateful for the manifestation of everything in the way that it shows up. I'm grateful for every gift and for every opportunity to express more love, to give more love, and to receive more love. So I release this now into the power of the law that we know manifests and demonstrates at the level of consciousness. So I just give thanks, I step aside, and I allow for God to do God's work. And so it is.
And by the way, Carl can see you, so don't be doing anything embarrassing, because you're on camera here now. I'm holding this up, and he can see you. I want to introduce our musician to you this morning. Carl Anthony has not taken the traditional music industry path. His music is a universe of joy, emotion, and adventure that has guided his career to all the right places, including here with us today. He is a champion for the arts in healthcare and a member of the National Organization for Arts in Health. And when he is not touring, you'll find him singing at the bedsides of patients at Children's Hospital in San Diego. He leads music-filled service trips to Thailand with his wife, Noe, and has received several Gandhi King Season for Nonviolence Peace Hero Awards for his years of international service with music. Like I said, Carl does not take the traditional music industry path. Instead, he's used his life and music as a vehicle to connect us to our heart and to our humanity. Please join me in welcoming Carl Anthony. Uh-oh. He can't hear me. I don't know what's the deal there. He's on mute. No, he's not on mute. Oh, that's it. That was on mute. Okay. You've been introduced, darling. They gave you some nice applause. I'm sorry you didn't hear it. It's all yours. Don't mute that one, William, because it's the only one Carl can hear through. Okay. So, Carl, you're on.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's do some more music, shall we? It's such a pleasure to be with you. I am delighted to be here. All right. I have a song called I Am Who I Am. So let's just go right into it. You like blues? It's kind of bluesy, yeah. You know, I care about you. I hope you care about me. Let's sing together. Set our mind free. I'll let you know who I am. I believe we can see the future. Whatever we plan, say I am who I am. Because of what I put into my mind, I can change who I am by what I put into my mind. I want to hear your truth, what bothers you. Don't try to fake it. Whatever you do, you got to give up the fuss, begin to trust your heart, your mind. I know you stand tough. Come on. I know you stand tough. I know you stand tough. Say I am who I am because of what I put in my mind. Oh yeah, I can change who I am by what I put into my mind. Oh yeah, I am who I am because of what I put into my mind. Oh yeah, I can change who I am by what I put in my mind. Take a break. Ow! Do you believe in love? It don't come from up above, it comes from mother, father, sister, brother. I think it's all around, and it helps the ups and downs. It's your vibration, it's every little sound. Say, I am who I am, who I am. Because of what I put into my mind. Oh yeah, I can change who I am by what I put into my mind. Oh yeah, I am because of what I put into my mind. Oh yeah, I can change who I am. Yeah. Because I put into my mind. Oh yeah, I can change who I am because of I put into my mind. Oh yeah, I can change who I am by what I put into my mind.
Woo! That was great. Thank you, Carl. Yes. So let's make sure we put that good stuff into our minds. All right. So we are back into 2021, still here, still looking at timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. And this month, I've been talking about reaching for the stars. Somebody said, you know, when you reach for the stars, you may not actually grab one, but you could end up out in the planets, out by the moon. That would be a little further than if you didn't reach at all. And so standing on tiptoe, there are some good things available to us as we're reaching and putting in that effort. And today, I want to talk about going for the outrageous. Now, when I was a kid and my mother would say, "That's outrageous," what she meant was that was something to make you furious. But nowadays, outrageous is something else altogether. It doesn't bring outrage, it brings awe, right? It brings amazement, it brings wonder. Sometimes it brings delight. I love this little story, very short. At his 103rd birthday party, my grandfather was asked if he thought he'd be around for his 104th. "Oh, yes, I certainly do," he replied. "Statistics show that very few people die between the ages of 103 and 104. Now, that's looking at it from an outrageous perspective, an outrageous point of view. And God bless him for being able to do that. There are, I think, a lot of things in our world that are outrageous, but we're used to them, so we don't realize how outrageous they are. Orchids with faces. Is that not outrageous? There are monkey faces. There are angel faces. There are little naked men orchids. There are babies in little cradles. You would swear that was what the image was. This little laughing being, I don't know exactly what it is. It kind of looks like a cross between a duck and a bumblebee. But it's definitely having a good time. There's so much in our world that's almost unbelievable. Carnivorous plants. What? Viruses. Do you know that biologists still do not know for sure whether a virus is a living thing or not? Because they can't reproduce on their own. They have to get other cells in other organisms to reproduce for them. They don't have cells in the way that we do. And so we're not sure whether to classify them as living organisms or not, but they certainly do know how to do what they know how to do, whatever it is that they are. Butterflies, of course, are one of my favorite outrageous things. And the sensory ranges in various creatures are amazing to me. We're aware of what we can see and hear, but what elephants can hear, do you know they vibrate their foreheads? And they make a sound that is so low in vibration that they can hear it for miles and miles, but we can't. Bats have such sensitive hearing that if we could hear the way that they do, we would hear our muscles moving. That's how sensitive their hearing is. We know that various insects see colors that we don't see in our visible spectrum. Other animals don't see the kind of color that we see. They have diachromatic rather than trichromatic or something like that. Cones or rods or whatever in the eyes. You know, some people are colorblind. How does that happen? All this variety, all this possibility in the universe, it's outrageous. Just right here on this little planet. And so people have been looking at this and thinking about it, whether they're philosophers or scientists or they're in religion, for hundreds and thousands of years. Einstein said the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. The mysterious. What is it about the mysterious that is beautiful? It draws us in to want to know more, to want to go further, to want to find out more. There's something about the mysterious and the outrageous that kind of does one of these, you know, like, come here, come see what I have for you. Richard Bach, in his book Illusions, said, imagine the universe beautiful and just and perfect. And then be sure of one thing. The is has imagined it quite a bit better than you have. And finally, this little story from Maclean's Magazine in Canada. This is from 2010. After 800 years in existence, St. Edburga's Anglican Church in Birmingham, England, needed serious repairs to keep its spire from collapsing. But try as they might, the congregation could not raise the 56,700 pounds necessary to do the job. So Vicar Bill Sands was preparing to announce the church's closing when an email arrived. A recently deceased priest in Australia had left part of his estate to St. Edburga's. Gilbert Roy had been an altar boy there 40 years earlier, but hadn't attended since. The amount he left them? 56,700 pounds exactly. Now, how does that happen? This, to me, is part of the outrageousness of what happens in the world, and we're immersed in it. And so we look at these things and we see them as miracles or blessings or wonders or unexplained coincidences, but we take them in stride, basically, unless they're really outrageous. We kind of just take them in stride. And yet, we as human beings, because we exist in this amazing universe, on this amazing planet, are created to break previous limits, our previous limits. We're designed to do that. The universe isn't static, it's constantly creating newness. And that doesn't stop with us. So it's constantly creating newness in us and through us, just as we are. Human beings risk and push themselves to do and be more than they have yet demonstrated they can do and be. Why? Why do we do that? We do it because it's in our nature. It is implanted in us to lean in to the mystery, to push forward into what we don't know yet and try and figure out more. We are built to be insatiably curious. Matthew Fox wrote quite some time ago, it's taken 15 billion years to get you here. That is scientific fact. We're not just the products of our parents. 60% of our body is hydrogen atoms. The hydrogen atoms in us go back to the first fireball 14 billion years ago. We have been around a long time, and it has taken a great birthing process to bring us forward. You know, in terms of mere coincidence, if you look at what is necessary in the universe to create the perfect conditions for life, conscious life, for self-aware life to manifest on this planet, the chances are astronomical that this would even happen. The slightest tweaks in dozens of different things would have made this impossible. And yet, here we are. So something was determined to bring forward this form of conscious life. And here we are now, experiencing the wonders of this life and not quite knowing yet who we are. We are compelled, Ernest Holmes would have said, compelled to explore, to create, to ask questions, and to discover. I just came back from my 50th high school reunion this past week. Those people are so old. And sorry if any of you are watching this morning, because some of my friends asked me about this. You know, some people it's very easy to recognize them. Other people, and I gotta say this, I'm sorry, especially the guys, it can be really difficult to recognize them because they've gained weight, lost hair, grown facial hair in some instances, and a few of them had actually lost quite a bit of weight from when, we were in high school. And so I had to ask people, who's that? Sometimes I wouldn't know until I saw him talking, and then I'd recognize him from, just the way the face moved and so on. So it was really interesting to be together with all these people now that we're all this age. And we did a memorial slideshow for those people in our class who've passed on. I was in a graduating class of 171 people. Of that class, 24 have passed on. That's more than 10%. 20 of them are men. 12 of those who've passed have gone in the last 10 years. So my class has decided we want to do informal get-togethers every year because, we don't know when we're going to see somebody for the last time, right? And we'd like to invite people to come who couldn't come this time so we can lay eyes on them. This is part of the wonder of being a human being. How is it that we get old? What an amazing thing it is that we get old. I'm not sure we really, really know why that happens. And yet everything on the planet has its life cycle and then goes on. There's nothing that stays here permanently. Everything abandons its organic form, leaves behind, the body temple of whatever it was, sets itself free, and that goes back into the fodder to produce more life. Tony Robbins said this. Tony Robbins learned how to become a successful entrepreneur by watching people who were and trying to analyze exactly what it was that they were doing that he wasn't doing, and then duplicate that. And he's gone on to teach all kinds of professionals how to do their own jobs better by him observing those who are doing it really well and then teaching them how to do those things and how not to do other things. He said this: if you take any activity, any art, any discipline, any skill, take it and push it as far as it will go. Push it beyond where it has ever been before. Push it to the wildest edge of edges. Then you force it into the realm of magic. That's what we're talking about in terms of the outrageous. Moving past what is known into what is yet to be discovered. I always say that we're not here to do what's already been done. Those are reruns. People have already lived those lives. They've already done that. We're here for things that have never been done before. In our very own lives. No one has lived a life exactly like yours. No one has brought the gifts, the unique combination of gifts that you bring. And you're not finished yet. You know how I know that? Because you're physically breathing. So you're not finished yet. You're right here, right now, awake, aware. There's more. There's more about each one of us that we don't know yet, and there's more we're here to bring. There's more we're here to give. Aldous Huxley said, the reason we like precious jewels so much is they remind us of planes of consciousness we've lived on where those were the pebbles. Precious gems. To some degree, that's us. Precious gems. I look at people who do, high-risk sports, extreme sports, and I think, oh, no, thank you. That's not me, And so if I ask you, what is the boldest thing that you have ever done? I can tell you, if I were to answer that question, it would not be this bungee jumping. No. I get terrified on Splash Mountain. I'm telling you, I'm not leaping off the platform to have a rubber band catch me. At the same time, every one of us breathing in this room has done at least one thing in our lives that was very bold. May have not appeared bold to somebody else. It may have knocked other people over. It seemed so bold. What's the boldest thing you've done? Or what's one of the boldest things you've done? I want you to think about that. Think about what motivated that step. Because surely, before you took that step, there was fear and trepidation. There was concern about whether or not you'd be able to pull it off, right? One of them for me was in high school, or in college, I was understudy to a major performance. But I'd never had a pickup rehearsal for understudies. We hadn't done that. We'd assigned understudies, but that was it. Now, because I was in a lot of scenes as my part, I had seen a lot of them, I had heard a lot of them, and so I have this kind of memory where if I hear something enough, I remember it, or at least I used to. So I knew the play backwards and forwards, except for 2 scenes that happened when I was in the dressing room. I could hear it over the speaker, but I wasn't immersed in it in the same way. Well, St. Patrick's Day evening, I got home from St. Patrick's Daying, and I had a call on my answering machine from the director of this play that the lead woman was ill. Could I step in for her the next day for a performance? 11 o'clock at night on St. Patrick's Day. I called him and I said, you bet, right? So I spent the next day running lines with people that were in the play. I cut all my classes. I stayed all day at the theater. I ran lines with everybody, and people brought me food, and I did great except for those 2 scenes. I kept not knowing what my line was when the cue was given to those 2 scenes. So people knew those were the tricky ones for me. This character also had a lot of costume changes, and it was a very abstract set that turned and moved. So it was sometimes hard to know where things were supposed to happen on the set. But I knew enough to more or less get myself to the next spot. Or when the lights went down, the other actors would grab me and physically move me to where I needed to be next. They would take off my clothes, put on my next costume, shove me into my space, and the lights would come up, and I had to know what scene I was in. I did great until I hit that first scene. And it was a scene between me and one fellow. And he asked me a question. His line was a question. And I looked at him and I said, I have no idea. It was like, right back to you. And what did he do? Now, I won't tell you who it is, because this guy has been a successful actor, supporting actor on TV and movies for years now. He looked at me and he whispered my line. Now, if you've been in theater, you know that's a no-no. And we're in a theater that had such great acoustics that everybody heard it. So I said my line, we went right on. My friends were so mad at him. So the second scene, where I always went up and didn't know what was next, I actually got the line, but the woman who was coming in on the entrance was ready, and she came in a little bit early. So they were all taking care of me. Now, this was one of the boldest things I had ever done, or maybe one of the boldest things I ever have done, was to say yes to that. And right before that play started, I remember standing on the platform with my back to the flat, because I was going to look out the window in just a minute and say my first line. And I remember standing there as the lights were coming up, where the audience couldn't see me, behind this flat, saying to myself, I will not pass out. I will not pass out. But I made it through. I made it through. That was my bungee jump for me. That was going off without a net and having to trust that everybody else there could catch me if I fell. You know what I mean? So what is your greatest accomplishment, or what has been a risk? What's been the boldest thing that you've done? And how did you accomplish that? What made you decide to go ahead and do it? How did you do it? You're already outrageous. You're already outrageous, and you always have been. When we get on in our lives, we tend to forget how amazing we really are. We look at our grandkids, we look at our kids, we look at our pets, we look at our gardens, we see what's amazing around us all the time, but we forget to look at ourselves. St. Augustine said something once about, human beings, they look at the height of mountains, the massiveness of waves, the amazingness of stars, and they wonder at all of this and forget to wonder at themselves. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote, in this thing called life, we must learn to live by inspiration. This means that we should let the spiritual depths of our being flow through our conversation and into our acts. Living by inspiration does not mean living chaotically. Our whole purpose is to make the intellect an instrument for the spirit. We must become artists in living. To live by inspiration means to sense the divine touch in everything, to enter into the spirit of things, into the joy of living. And in the Gospel of John, Jesus is reputed to have said this to the doubting gospel of the doubting apostle Thomas. Don't you believe that I am in the Father and that the Father is in me? The words I say to you, I do not speak on my own authority. Rather, It is the Father living in me who is doing his work. Believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or at least believe on the evidence of the works themselves. So I say to you again, what's the boldest thing you've ever done? The infinite living as you has done that through you. Believe that presence is within you, if not because of yourself, because of what's been done through you already. Joseph Campbell said, people say that what we're all seeking is a meaning for life. He said, I don't think that's what we're really seeking. I think that what we're seeking is an experience of being alive, so that our life experiences on the purely physical plane will have resonances within our own innermost being and reality, so that we actually feel the rapture of being alive. So that we actually feel the rapture of being alive. So I think that something else outrageous has your number, and it wants you to bring it forward. You may know what it is now, or you may not, but the truth is, no matter where you are in your life, you're still here, right? So why not? Why not see what the next outrageous thing is? Express and experience the awe, the wonder, the delight. This fellow that we're looking at here, this is Ed Whitlock. Ed Whitlock, he passed away on March 13th, 2017, a day of mourning for marathon runners of the world. He died of prostate cancer 1 week past his 86th birthday, the only runner to complete a series of marathons after age 80 in fewer than 4 hours. Ed's initiation into marathon running started when he was 48 years old, from a spat he had with his 14-year-old son, who Ed could not dissuade from competing. But he ran alongside and casually completed the course in 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 23 seconds. He was bitten by the running bug. In 2005, he ran a marathon in 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 40 seconds, creating the record for the oldest man to run a marathon in under 3 hours. If compared with a 20-year-old runner, his time would have been the equivalent of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 57 seconds, one of the fastest marathons ever. In October 2016, at age 85, he became the oldest Toronto marathoner to complete the course in less than 4 hours with a run of 3 hours, 56 minutes, and 34 seconds. Ed's running career and training program were unusual and unorthodox. His running shoes were worn out and outdated. His running vest was more than a couple of decades old. He never consulted a coach or trainer and had no records of his training mileage. He had no masseur, did not do weight training or stretching, and abhorred supplements of any kind. What probably worked in his favor was his extraordinary lung capacity and lean body mass, but even more, a dedication to win against time, against the track, and against the body clock. With a local cemetery as his running ground, Ed trained all alone, running around it for over 3.5 hours at a time, day after day. Ed's philosophy was quite simple. I believe people can do far more than they think they can. You have to be idiot enough to try it. This is being outrageous, being idiot enough to try it, being willing to take that risk and not play it safe. But to actually, and I'm not talking about, stupid stuff. I mean, some things we can't tell if they're stupid or not. But to, choose wisely, but go for it. Stretch ourselves. Let's don't be bored or be boring with the life that we're living. Let's don't get so settled that we stop growing and discovering and experimenting and exploring. So I'll share this last thing with you. This is a promise made to the universe by an unknown person. It says, in the face of adversity, uncertainty, and conflicting sensory information, I hereby pledge to remain ever mindful of the magical, infinite, loving reality I live in, a reality that conspires timelessly in my favor. I further recognize that living within space and time, a creation amongst creations, is the ultimate adventure, because thoughts become things, dreams come true, and all things remain forever possible. As a being of light, I hereby resolve to live, love, and be happy at all costs, no matter what, with reverence and kindness for all. So be it. So, having said that, I want to invite you to stand and join me for the morning affirmation, which you'll see up here on the screen now. And let's claim this for ourselves, because you know those seeds of outrageousness, they're just lying inside you. And this morning, one of them got cooked, so watch out. Join me here. Great ideas begin in unknown realms, where how is still unclear. I invite outrageous, amazing, incredible ideas and connections. I am a space where all these ideas are welcome to show up. Yes. So right now, take and put one hand on your heart and close your eyes and breathe. Something miraculous is happening right now under your hand. The breath, the heartbeat, they go right on without our intervention, without our conscious attention. A miracle. Every moment that we're alive. We are walking, living miracles. We are examples of that infinite presence, slowed down enough to be visible as potential, as love, as kindness, as awesome outrageousness. And so I claim for each one of us this week, that this very week, as we are called upon to step out onto our path of life in a more willing, loving, giving, available way, that we welcome the universe's guidance and direction to step us forward into the amazing, outrageous wonderfulness that we're here to give and to experience and to be in the world. I, on behalf of all of us, welcome this into hearts and souls, knowing that this is our own true nature, and we welcome it home and step into it with remembered joy and gratitude. Letting this prayer go then, we step into this transformational space with love and simply let it be. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. You may be seated. Now I want to announce to you that we have a brand new text to donate phone number. And that's because we've recently changed our database system. And so the first time you use this, you will have to put in your info again. I know that's a pain, but then it'll be terrific. So what you'll do is, here's the phone number, and you can use your $sign, which you couldn't before. But when you put in your amount, leave a space, and then say what fund it's for. So like $50 pledge or $50 general fund. Just leave a space, or you get a message back saying, sorry, I didn't get that. And then if it's the first time you've used the number, it'll take you through all the steps, right? But this is the phone number to text to from now on. That's live, and that's our new one, the local 415 number.
Mary, what's the difference?
The other number is a completely different telephone number.
Between the general fund and the pledge?
Oh, if you've made a pledge, then when you're donating, it goes to the pledge. So say that. If you haven't made a pledge, then it's going to go to the general fund. Although Pat Malone did assure me that if you've made a pledge, even if you sent it in and said general fund, it would go toward your pledge anyway, because she'll fix it for you. But if you've made a pledge, you can save her a step by doing that, okay? And so now we're going to go ahead and bless all the offerings, the ones given this morning, and all the ones that have been given and have come into Golden Gate during the week. So let's bless them all by saying this together out loud. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the offering and let us welcome back our dear Carl Anthony.
Wow, Reverend Mary, that was an outrageous. That was beautiful. Well, live, love, and be happy. Good, outrageous. What a great thing. I, well, I realize that sometimes, asked be outrageous comes when you don't least expect it. I have that situation 16 years ago that I was asked to be a part of a healing arts program in the children's hospital. And when they asked me that, I said, I have no idea what that is, but yes, I'll. And it's been an outrageous, wonderful adventure. And as you can imagine, what I basically do is go room to room and write songs with the kids, music into the hospital. Music just makes everything better, doesn't it? And so anyway, this one little boy one time said to me, chemotherapy was like an earthquake inside him. And I thought that was an outrageous thing, to hear from a little guy. And his mother thought it was kind of crazy too. She both looked at him. I said, what do you mean? He says, it's like the ground is shaking inside you. And I'm thinking, my goodness, he's talking so poetically. And I said, well, how old are you? He says, I'm almost 8. So this 7-year-old had my full attention. And I said, what do you do when the ground is shaking inside you? And he thought for a minute, put his hand in the air, and then he said, hold the sky. I immediately did what I always do when I get that kind of reaction. I said, let's write a song. And it goes, and the first verse it wrote is like this. It goes, when the ground is shaken under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. When the ground is shaken under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. And when the kingdoms crumble into dust, say goodbye, say goodbye. When the kingdoms crumble into dust, say goodbye, say goodbye. Sometimes life can bring you down to your knees. If you go through hell, fine, just don't stop for tea. When the ground is shaken under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. When the ground is shaken under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. And when the time is time to forgive, a time to love, time to love. When the time is time to forgive, time to love, time to love. And when love leaves love in arms, watch the ground, watch the ground. And when love leaves love in arms, watch the ground, watch the ground. Sometimes life can bring you down to your knees. If you go through hell, fine, just don't invite me. When the ground is shaking underneath, hold the sky, hold the sky. When the ground is shaking underneath, hold the sky, hold the sky. Sing with me, hold the sky, hold the sky, hold the sky. One more time. Hold the sky, hold the sky.
All right. And so we do now, on behalf of all of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, all of us accept these gifts that have been given and send them out to do outrageously good work in the world everywhere they go, to shed blessings everywhere to anybody who comes in contact with them, whether they know why or not. We send it out there like love gorillas to do blessings in the world. And so it is. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, if you are with us for the very first time this morning, we are delighted to welcome you. You're going to find at the table, right back at the back here, where Galen is standing up and holding up a welcome packet, you're going to find that there are welcome packets back there for you to take with you. Each one has a blue card like this inside that says welcome. If you fill this out and give it to Galen back there, you will get a gift, which is a little book. That's our thank you for coming and giving us your info today. And we hope that you'll be back with us often in the future. We'd love to be your spiritual home. So we're delighted that you're here. Thanks for coming. And do take some time to introduce yourselves to each other and to us this morning after the service. Also, I want to draw attention to all of the wonderful folks who helped put the morning together. Actually, Leslie Janetti did the altar this morning. We want to give thanks for all these folks who come in early and make sure that everything's ready for us. Let's just give them a round of applause. Oh, there they are. Yes, this blank screen, which is welcoming somebody or other and saying thank you to them for what they've done. I was thinking it was going to come up automatically. That was my mistake. Also, in this moment, I want to bring up Suzanne Dubois and Rachel DePaula, because we're going to start teaching this Tuesday. We're going to be teaching our first foundations class that's a hybrid since all this began. And we would just like to invite anybody who's been shy about jumping in at the last minute to come ahead and join us on Tuesday night. And so, gals, come take the microphone. Stand right here so the people online can see you. And tell us all about it.
Suzanne, how excited are we about Team Teaching Foundations starting this week?
More excited and more bold than you can imagine.
It's so outrageous, right? We just became practitioners and now we're going to teach a class? I mean, wow, that is outrageous,
Well,
isn't
we're
it?
a great team.
We are a great team. So what do you think is exciting about teaching the class?
Well, one of the things I think is exciting, and there's a few people in the class that have taken the class before, I think that is the best opportunity that you can think of. If you've not taken the class before, okay, well, whatever. But the people who have taken the class before, it's such an opportunity to go deeper.
Oh, that's really great. But really, more importantly, are people who have never taken foundations. I mean, if you've already taken it, yeah, I've taken it twice already. But if you've never taken foundations, and maybe you've been in the teaching a really long time, but you're like, I don't want to take foundations, it changes your life. So coming every Sunday is awesome. But when you take foundations class, you really, really learn how to integrate these teachings into the everyday process of your life, and you really change your thinking, and you really change your life. And it's going to be super fun, right?
Oh, right. But, you know, I've taken it twice too. And the people who have taken it before, even twice or 3 times, there is always a deeper level to find.
You're so right, Susan. So it starts Tuesday. Just call the office or email admin@
@ggcsl.org.
ggcsl.org. And please join us for an amazing 10-week experience. Thank you.
We're going to have such a good time. Yes, it starts at 6 to 9, 10 Tuesdays, and you can still sign up for it, but do it right away because we start Tuesday night, and we want to make sure Sonia has time to get you all the Zoom information and your student workbook and all that. You will need a Science of Mind text. So if you already have one, great. If you don't, get on it right away. All right, and this week, we are finally beginning our coffee conversation and connection time on Zoom following the service for those who are online. So the way that we're going to do that this morning is right over here where this group is sitting in the cushy chairs. We're going to set up an iPad on a stand in front of that where the people who are online this morning can come into the Zoom space, and the Zoom is right up on the screen. The link is on the screen. So for those of you that are online that want to do it, quick copy all that info down, the meeting ID and the passcode so that you can get into that Zoom. And then anybody that wants to chat with you all can come and sit in those cushy chairs back there and talk to the iPad, and they should be able to hear you, and you should be able to hear them, fingers crossed. So we're taking the first shot at it today. So those of you that are online, give it a try so that we can find out if it's working for us and for you, and we would love to see your faces. Also, I want to say a special thank you to those who participated in the California Coastal Cleanup yesterday. That does go on all month, but we had a few people that were engaged in it yesterday. I guess there wasn't a huge amount of trash for them, but I want to thank the people that did it, because what's happening is we are starting as a community to get engaged in the larger community so that we're bringing forth the love and light that we hold to share with others who are also in service. So I really encourage you, when any of these opportunities come up, to jump in and participate. You'll get to know the larger community better, but you'll also get to know more GGCSL folks better as well. So now we come into our morning prayer time. Would you all bring me the prayer box over there? Every week, our prayer box sits over here at the practitioner table, and it's available to receive your requests. Your written requests are prayed over all week by the practitioners, and I believe they begin to go into the creative law the minute you let them go and put them in the box. So this box, it's got a slot in the top. You can come and put your prayer request in any time on Sunday, and especially in service are our practitioners that are at the tables on Sunday. They're here specifically for you so that you can always get a prayer before you leave whenever there is something weighing on your heart. So please come to the table after the service to get with one of the practitioners. They'll take you to the private prayer space and do a brief prayer with you right now this morning today, okay? Thank you, Dana. So let's take this moment to step into prayer. I invite the practitioners that are here to surround the room and to just let's put our hands up around this group. And this morning we're going to do a chamber of prayer, which means that we're all going to pray for all of us simultaneously. All right? So this is our prayer for you right now. In this very moment, right here and right now, I recognize and know there is one infinite presence which fills this place. It is everything and everyone. It's all that I am made from. And so I know that this life that's in me is in every single person in this room. It is bringing them courage and love and light, bringing them healing and awareness and joy, revealing love and bringing greater peace for them and their loved ones. I claim this goodness for them and for all of us with great gratitude, knowing this is the nature of who we are. It is the automatic beingness of God in and as us. Transformation is taking place now, here. Wholeness is being made manifest. Good is coming forward. Opportunities are abounding. I'm grateful to know this is the truth for us all right here and right now, and I send this word out into the law to do its work for all of us with great gratitude. I let it go and let it be, and so it is. And so it is. Please stand and join us for the benediction and the peace song. Please say this with me. I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness. For spirit and all people and I are one eternally, and so it is. And here's the final song. It's very simple. I see love in you, and I know what I see. Twice. Every time I see you smile when I look into your eyes. Twice. That's the whole song. So Carl's going to take us through that, and just go for it when you see him. And I will try and see if I can help him see you. All right, let's go for it.
Hey, can you see me?
Yes.
Good. Well, I hope you have a beautiful, outrageous day today, and let's do it. So, but this is the best part. It goes, every time I see you smile, hey, everybody on three, throw your hand. Every time I see you smile, hey. Oh, you got it. All right, let's do it. I see love in you, and I know what I see. I see love in you, and I know what I see.
Every time.
Smile.
Hey!
When I look every time I see you smile.
Hey! I look into your eyes.
This is a great song to sing to somebody else. So you look at somebody in the eyeball and say, what are you looking at? Say, I'm looking at you.
Look at you.
Here we go. Go ahead and look at him and sing the song. I see love in you, and I know
what I see. I see love in you, and I know what I see.
every time I see you smile.
Hey!
When your eyes.
Every time I see you smile. Hey! When I look into your eyes.
You can see those little two eyeballs right above that mask you're wearing. Right there. All right, have a wonderful, outrageous day. I see love in you, and I know what I see.
I see love in you, and I know what I see. Every time I see you smile. Hey!
Your eyes.
Every time I see you smile. Hey!
Your eyes. Are you ready to do it one more time?
Yeah.
I can see in your eyes you want to do it one more time.
Yes.
Let's do it. Here we go. I see love in you.
And I know what I see. I see love in you, and I know what I see. Every time I see you smile. Hey! Hey! Every time I see you smile. Hey! Look into your eyes. Every time I see you smile. Hey! When I look into your eyes. Every time I see you smile. Hey! Oh, it's wonderful, Carl. Thank you so much for being with us today. All right, everybody. Yes. Okay, well, so I want to wish you a very happy Mabon, because the autumn equinox is Wednesday, and that's the harvest feast of Mabon. So I want to welcome that blessed Mabon, and all of you. Thank you for being here today. You are the face of God. Namaste. Give somebody a safe hug.